This episode of the Turf District podcast is brought to you by Alberta Blue Cross. Even if you're a busy business owner with more meetings than hours in a day, you are calm and collected with your group benefit plan is taken care of by Alberta Blue Cross. Your employees can manage their own health, dental, life, and disability coverage online anytime on any device, making it easier for them and for you. To learn more and explore your options, head to ab.bluecross.ca. That's ab.bluecross.ca. Enjoy the show.
We ain't gonna ever back down from nobody. I don't care who it is. This is a brotherhood. And if we stand strong together, we can't be denied. If one of us goes down, we have another, and another, and another. That's ready to fight. So let's hit this field and bang them, bang them, bang them. Somebody light me up.
It's time to huddle up. It's the Turf District Podcast.
Welcome back to the Turf District, where we huddle up to talk all things Edmonton Elks and the CFL. And we are a proud member of the Alberta Podcast Network, locally grown, community supported, and also a part of the Canadian Football Podcast Network. I'm Andrew, and welcome into the district tonight as we wrap up preseason and we get a chance to talk about the coming season. The regular season starts this week. Woo! We are very excited. It's excited to get in and get some games going. Yes, we're still excited. Even the result of that game on Friday was not great. Tonight, it is just two of us, myself and one commissioner. Kayla, how are you?
Well...
That good.
This isn't 2021, so I'm going to be optimistic, but that was a swift kick in the nuts. Wow.
Right?
That a very humbling experience. Not that we needed to be any lower to the ground, but here we are.
Here we are. Exactly. Well, I think, sometimes we need a reminder of what it was like, and we'll talk about that in a short bit, because I do want to talk about that. But I do want to start by asking you, though, how was the entire feel of being back at the stadium, and what was the game day experience like? What was tailgating like? All those types of things. I want to know what that was all like for you.
It felt, again, just like being home. It's so natural. It's just that thing that you're like, yes, now I feel complete. This is what was missing. And thanks again to you for the parking pass, because wow, is it ever handy just walking out to your vehicle and leaving the game? Splendid. Right? Oh, so great. And like
extra bonus for tailgate.
I know, and all my stuff was right there. And I mean, if they rejected me because my purse was too big, I'll be like, okay, I'll just be right back, instead of like, well, I got to throw this away now, or So, I mean, that was great. Being at tailgate is always great. Brian Kelly was there, so we got to see him again. Yes, and his family. And, I mean, I loved it because Celeste got to meet him, and she got a picture with him and was just over the moon. So, so great to see someone who, I know who Brian Kelly is, but, like, you had to tell me at training camp, you're like, that's Brian Kelly. I'm like, oh, cool. Right? So, because that's like, I can't fangirl over something that I never was introduced to. So he was after or before my time, but it's really great to see him walking around at tailgate, still being involved in this organization. So that is awesome to see. And food was great. Thanks again, super fan. And Jedi Check, like, amazing. Janelle, thank you for the beer. It was delicious. Phillips Dinosaur. I'm telling you, it's good stuff.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So, and yeah, just having everyone back. And I mean, what can you say about tailgate? You just have to go and experience it for yourself. But it's always so good to see everybody. And then the game day experience, I mean, I didn't see a big difference. I have no complaints. I mean, for the most part, I'm there for the football. I wish I wasn't this time, but
Fair.
I mean, the halftime show was excellent. Like, I didn't even leave for Westivus because I was like, I'm just gonna watch a little bit of it. I stayed for the entire thing because I was just so enthralled. I mean, the choir of the children was so heartfelt, and then they had the Ukrainian dancers, and it just brought me back to Grey Cup 2018 again. And I just got super overwhelmed, and I'm like, mixing my favorite things, and it's for a good cause. Like, what more could you ask for? So, I mean, some people were complaining about like music and stuff. I had no complaints. I was driving to the music. I was rocking and rolling.
Good.
The cheer team. Oh, I'm so glad the aerials are back. Excellent job,
Oh,
guys.
nice.
Such a good job. Good music. They had some Kylie Minogue in there. And if you don't know who that is, I'm judging you.
I know who it is.
Not you,
Come
and
on.
anybody out
Okay,
there.
good.
If you don't
Like,
know,
anybody who's my age, I absolutely knows who Kylie Minogue is because we watched the videos.
right? Well, I mean,
Right.
I've had for different reasons. But I'm a huge fan of hers. I went to Ontario or to Toronto to watch her in concert.
Oh, wow,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I'm a huge fan of hers. So when they did a dance to Can't Get You Out of My Head, I was like, you got me. I'm in. I mean, you're amazing talented wise, but I'm just the music. So I had fun. Everything else was on point for me, at least. I wish I would have tried some concession food, but next time.
Some confession food.
Confession
That's
food.
different.
It is my Sabbath today, so. But it smelled really good. Smelled like mini donuts, so yeah. I mean, I have no complaints. Football is back. There's so much like bigger things in the world that is going on. I just care that we're in the stadium again and we get to watch some football. So I had a great time.
Awesome.
But
Awesome.
apart from
So,
you not being there, but
well, yeah, I mean, it can't be perfect. I mean,
nothing can. That's right. I mean,
Yeah.
if you
A couple weeks.
if you
I'll
were
be
there, I would have
Yeah.
exploded because it's too much.
Really?
Too
Oh,
much.
well then I better not do that. I don't want you to explain.
It's okay. I'll leave my mark.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Is that the title of the podcast? I'll leave my mark.
I usually do somewhere or
All
another.
right, it's true. It's very true. Now, actually, tell me a little bit about the music because it seems like a great divide on Twitter for some reason that it was,
I didn't know.
too loud, too soft. It was, not like not good or bad. And people love it, but people don't. Like, I was very odd to me. I'm like, without having been there to experience it, and of course not be able to see it. So,
There was definitely something wrong with the system. That's for sure.
was there?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. There was something wrong with the speakers. It was really bizarre because when Chris and Ashley would speak, it would be like really piercing at first.
Okay.
So, and then the music wouldn't sound like it just sounded like all bass or something. So there was definitely
interesting.
something wrong with the system as far as like the actual music goes. Guys, it's just music. Like you have to throw a mix of everything in there, and like I didn't have any complaints. Like that's the least of my concern. I had fun, but I like every kind of music. So I just think if we're having to nitpick at absolutely everything now, I mean, it's good to have criticism that is healthy and like, hey, like maybe you can rearrange it this way, but then someone else is going to have a problem with it, right? So it's just, I mean, just fix the sound in general, and I think we'll be all right. I mean, they didn't overplay country, so I'm like,
Well, it wasn't a Saskatchewan game.
I
That's
don't hate
fine,
country,
yeah.
but sometimes I'm like, really?
But yeah, not all the time.
With
Yeah,
and
exactly.
with football, I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
my least favorite. I mean, they should throw in some heavy metal just to get it's like a bit cathartic, you know. Especially when
I agree.
when we're losing really badly. It's really good to have some heavy metal because you're just like,
That's fair.
yeah.
That's fair. Coach is asking, what did you think of the brass tastics?
That was on my notes, so I'm glad you brought that
Okay.
up. That was going to be for
Excellent.
my good. Yeah. Oh man, you give me any kind of brass in jazz, in punk, in heavy metal. Sometimes when they throw, I'm all in. Like anything operatic or brass or anything like that. throw it into like modern music or anything, I'm all for. So I loved it. That guy with the mohawk, come on, straight up punk from like punk, 80s punk, loved it. And then with the drum line, and yeah, I'm all for it. I loved it. I was yipping and yang, so that was one
Cool.
of
I
my
like.
positives for the game.
Yeah, I heard a lot more about them, and I heard some of them were actually like playing people out of the stadium and stuff, and that was really cool. And so, I mean, that it sounds like they're doing some cool things. Like I'm excited about
Yeah.
that. And then coach was also saying that he thought Ashley did a good job for
Mhm.
her first time around. And what did you find with the balance between Ashley and Chris Sheets? Because I mean, we're so used to Chris all the time,
Yeah.
right? But I'm curious to know what it's like with the new voice.
Well, just one thing too with the brass tacks, like brass tactics, you definitely could tell with the speaker. I think if they just rearranged some of the mics because some of the instruments were much louder than the others, so it wasn't a very cohesive set. But
Oh, okay.
I'm just
Okay.
nitpicky because I used to be in a jazz band, so I want to hear everything and be able to pick up each sound. So that's the only thing, but they just need to rearrange the mics. As
Okay.
far as like those two, I loved it. I loved how one was west and one was east, so they're hyping each side up individually, and then I thought it was like they didn't really miss a beat. They
Nice.
really worked
Nice.
well together, and yeah, I thought she did a great job.
Fantastic,
Hmm.
fantastic. Well, let's remind everybody who's joined us on YouTube. Make sure, just like Coach, you throw your questions into the chat for us, and we will get to those as we go along. And if not during the podcast, definitely on overtime afterwards. We appreciate you guys putting your thoughts in there as we chat on a different night of recording, only because we're trying to avoid the Oiler game tomorrow night, and hopefully they will do better. Yeah,
Ugh,
that's we're gonna hope.
we're gonna hope.
I'm gonna hope that they're gonna be better. That's all we got left is hope.
The only thing I can think of is they came back from a 3-1 deficit to move on, but now we're at a 3
Right.
nothing. So
So
it
we'll
could
see.
happen, but
There's always
the
the
Avalanche.
chance.
So just watching the Avalanche, I'm very envious. Their defense.
Oh, it's unreal. Yeah, they play a really good team. Yeah,
So yeah.
and they have speed, right?
Oh
So
man, they're just like a well-rounded team. So I wouldn't be
yeah,
overly upset because let's be honest, they deserve it.
yeah, they've done very well.
Anyway,
Absolutely. Well, let's get back to the other team. I mean, I know it wasn't a great weekend to be an Edmonton fan in general, but so yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the rest of the game. Elks lose 37-7 to the Stamps.
oh,
Um, what did you see that was good though? What did you see that stood out as far as the play or other? I mean, you already talked about brass tactics, but what what else did you see that was good?
um, I mean, not to beat a dead horse.
We wish we could
We
do
wish,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I guess my goods would be most likely, or more likely, just the individual players.
Okay.
And one thing I will say about this loss is at least we have a coach that doesn't take it laying down. I wish I
Right.
could have been a fly on the wall to hear everything that was said at halftime and after the fact, because we all know that that's not the kind of thing that CJ is just going to take like lightheartedly, like any
Yeah.
other coach.
Did you watch his post game,
No, I haven't.
his presser? I finally got a chance to kind of watch it today, and he said well, it's a pretty bad reflection on the coaching that we need to step up our game
Mm-hmm.
and make sure that they're, on point. But he said that was embarrassing. He goes, we had energy and that type of thing in Winnipeg last week, and this week nothing. No, he's like, our team needs to play better than that. And he goes, and some people are gonna find out that's what happens when you don't put some energy in, and
Yeah.
and that happened too. So I think I agree with you. He's not gonna take it lying down, and he's also gonna be like, okay,
What are
who
we
are the
going to
people
fix?
that were doing what they're supposed to, and who are the people who weren't?
Putting in the effort. I mean, you're not going to be the perfect player, but if you're correcting your mistakes or trying to correct your mistakes and not just coming back to the bench and whining about it, I mean, I don't know if that's what players were doing. I'm just saying at least like you're showing something. But it's really disheartening to end the season like we did and then to start back up at home when you just saw that they won against the former Grey Cup champs. Mind you, it was still preseason. I understand that. But you get that little spark and then you come home and you play your rivals and you get beaten down that bad. It's like really disheartening. And I'm not going to lie, I wasn't being like facetious at all on Twitter. I was having a bit of PTSD. This is not happening again, right? This is only preseason. Don't jump ahead, but it's a lot. So we'll just move on from that and hopefully that we can actually show up on the 18th.
Right.
But again,
well, let's show up on the 11th first in BC.
well, I mean,
and then show
apparently we're okay on the road, just not at home. Like there's something at home that I don't know that they're not clicking with. I don't know why. There's a bunch of cheering fans. So anyway,
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as the good, I mean, what can you say? Jaylen Marshall, like he.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
Right? Like how can I not?
Yeah.
How can I not?
Yeah.
Kai Loxley, like those were the two players that really stood out to me as far as like playing wise. And another good is, you know, when someone gets injured, how much players will come together no matter what side you're on. I thought that was a really moving experience, especially, you know, Gavin gets hurt and what's his name? Number 34, Leader. Is that how you say his name properly?
Yeah,
Leader?
Yeah, Milanovic Leader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would not leave Gavin's side. He was with him from the beginning to the end while he was getting carted away. So I thought that was like a really huge reflection on like a brother getting hurt. And that really touched me. And then obviously Apara, I've never seen the whole team go on the field like that. And I've never seen the opposite side, all of them coming together like that. And, you know, my head went to the worst possible thing. Like I thought this was another Jason Tucker thing where he's done forever, like paralyzed.
Yeah.
Because you don't see that ever. So just to see that something is bigger than football really brings you back and like, okay, these are people's lives. These are the guys that are putting their life on the line initially. So, I mean, that was a really good thing to actually experience, to see teams coming together to support one player in preseason, and they probably don't even know, a bunch of them don't even know each other. So, I mean, it's not good that he got hurt, but that's a positive that I take away, that, you know, they can put some things aside and come together from both sides of the fence. I like that. We need more of that in this world right now.
Don't we? Yeah.
Right? Just to get a little philosophical. And is that all the good I have? I think so.
You know what? That's more than a lot of people could pull out of it. So hey, I'll take that.
And brass tactics. And I mean, as far as players go, Jake Serezna just like beat up everybody. It was great. So he definitely controlled the D line. And also 76, Farrell McKeever, I think.
Yeah. It sounded like he was really good coming off the corner.
Yeah, I saw
off the edge.
His number a lot kept flashing by, and so those are the two guys on defense that really impressed me. And obviously Jaylen Marshall. I wouldn't have said number 5 at the beginning. I mean, did I find my new Bryant Mitchell? I never will. Let's be honest. But I liking a little mambo in my life.
Nice. There's the new nickname. I love it. Yeah, he stood out from what I heard. And obviously, I mean, I only heard part of the second half, but and Riley's grad was amazing, but it's still, you know, it was, I didn't get to the assessment as much. It did sound to me like Trey Ford is growing as a quarterback. Like
100%.
He didn't, you know, I know he threw an interception and he still was running a lot, but
I think that was tipped. Someone said that on Twitter that they saw it tipped. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So there was There was a Bahar moment, tipped off somebody, and the other team caught it. Okay. It's So yeah, I think I think the growth is there, and that's the part that's exciting, right? He may not
Yeah.
be there quite yet, but the growth keeps happening, and that's kind of what we're looking forward to. So
And I mean,
that's
I'll say it 1,000 times. There's something about his throws. I'm just mesmerized by them.
oh wow, okay,
I just,
okay,
oh, to me, they just are like a work of art. When I see it like streaming through the air, I'm like, that is like a perfectly thrown ball. Wow.
nice, nice.
So
Is it
I have a
landing where the guy can catch it? Is the next thing. It could be pretty in the air, but
well,
it's land.
no, well, all of them that were catchable weren't caught. So I mean,
Okay,
the throw itself is beautiful, and then I mean, of course, there's going to be mistakes, but the ones that are perfect and don't get caught, I get even more upset because you know how I feel about number two.
yes, that's right. Yes, push-ups. Come on now. Yeah.
There was one in particular, but we can wait till we get to like the bad.
All right, well, let's go there. That's next. What do you
Oh,
what who are the ones that you're like, "Ooh, that's not good."
like everyone.
That's fair when the score was that what it was. When you lose by 30, yeah.
I mean, I'm. It's still preseason, so I'm not going to be
Yeah.
super judgmental. But it looked like a bunch of amateurs. Like they looked better in training camp than they did on an actual game.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I just like I get it, but I don't get it at all. Like the kicking game. I What happened? I've never seen such a 180 in football ever. I don't think. Like you even said you've never been interested in the kicking as
Yeah.
much as you have this training camp.
Yeah.
Those kicks
But
were brutal. Oh,
yeah. That's what it sounded like. On the other hand, the one thing, you know what they didn't have on the field? Sergio.
hmm.
So,
So
it's a good thing we have him. That's a
yes,
good thing.
yeah. But
Yeah.
like the ones that we were watching at training camp,
Oh, I know. I
what?
know we were watching Lightborn and Hutchins, and they were kicking the lights out, but then the lights came on and that
You don't.
went
And I mean,
the
like
wrong way.
Chad makes a point too. Our friend Nubian, like
Mhm.
I mean, it's different when you're in training camp than when you're opposite of someone running after you in order to get to the ball. But
Right.
in Winnipeg, was there that much trouble? Like
Like, yeah.
right, like, but I mean, they've all played football before, so it's not like they're completely brand new to kicking off when someone else is flying at you. So it was just bizarre to see such a turnaround and yeah, wow. Well, I mean, the cuts speak for themselves, I guess.
I guess. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Why don't we just get to that? Because I think that's kind of where we're lying out a lot of where things landed. And then I see there's a couple of questions here in the chat that we'll get to in a second.
And before the
Um,
podcast is up, sorry, I have to talk about one
oh, sure.
missed catch, but we can do that later. We can do that.
Well, no, talk about that now,
Oh,
because then we'll talk about the
I was
cuts.
wondering if it was going to come up, but that I don't know if anyone else saw the missed catch by Shy Ross, perfectly thrown ball by Trey Ford to Shy Ross, and it was coming over his shoulder, and he turned around, and it was going to be like a perfect catch, and he had an open field, and it would have been a touchdown, and he dropped it,
Oh, really?
or just like mishandled it, and it was like that, and everyone you could just like feel the energy, is like, and then it got dropped, and you're like, that was a perfectly thrown ball, and you had an open field, and it's gone.
And it did it just like bounce off his hands, or was it just?
Well, he was catching it over the opposite side of where I was sitting, so I'm not exactly
Oh, okay.
sure
Okay.
if it bobbled or if he just like completely missed it. I just saw that thing and I'm like, oh, it's Shy Ross. Like, no bigs, number 11 here. Whoa. Okay. And I think that was the fourth quarter too. And you're like, I give up on life.
That was
But
yeah.
that was probably my worst moment because you're like, at least get one more.
Something.
Okay.
Yeah. And that probably was coming then from Kyle Oxley, who sounded like he had another good game for what he was doing. Like he was moving the ball, and I'll give the line of the night in our text chat to Paul because Mike said, well, Lockley seems to be, moving the ball well, but I don't know if that's, because it's against lesser competition, because of course Calgary had other guys in. But Paul responded with, well, did he get traded to Calgary in the end of the third quarter? I thought that was such a brilliant line. Going up against lesser competition. Uh-huh.
Ooh.
That was, but hey, that was pretty funny. That was a good line. Yeah, there lots of tough things to go over for that. And I'll do a couple of comments here that we'll just go before we get to the releases. Um, Coach Vic saying, what we were saying there a couple of weeks ago, we haven't seen a home win since October of 2019. So,
What?
oh,
Oh
yeah,
Lord.
need a home win at some point. And block punts are never really good. No kidding. We've had a lot of those as of late. And just took the wind out of everybody. Was Ken was saying. Our next game this year will be against the Rough Riders. Yay. Okay. Coach Vic saying Westivus was amazing, which I'm sure it was, and I can't wait for Westivus on the 18th. It's going to be awesome. And Coach says so many dropped balls. Title of the podcast, and nobody stood out. It was so boring. This was their job tryout, and that's the general sentiment: is that this was your job tryout, and
Yeah.
guys were not showing up, and that's I think that's kind of indicative when you see what happened the day after.
Yeah.
Jerry Cooper saying, was it a case of players trying to secure jobs as individuals and not playing as a team? And Coach says that's a really good point. So,
Mhm. Mhm.
um, and then Ken Ludwig says Stamp's defense made Ford look like the rookie he is, but he recognized when there was no one downfield to throw to. So that's good. And it looks like Ronan is on with us, and he said that drop was brutal. So obviously he agrees
Yeah.
with you. Yeah, so that's that not surprising. So let's get to the cuts. So released outright, Victor Abraham, who's a linebacker, Dotun Akatipi, who is a defensive back, Karan Ashley, who is wide receiver, Blaze Barber, who's one of the long snappers, Jean-Paul Simenkinda, running back. I mean, come on, we just lost sort of kinda.
I
That's
know.
unfortunate.
That's
Yeah.
is that sad that we're only gonna
Um,
miss the name?
it is true. Yeah. Oh, there's another one coming up. Tyler, or no, sorry, Keenan Clark at defensive back. Tyler Clucas Warren, who is an offensive lineman. Javonte Dean, or Leg Day, now gone, defensive back. Nate Edwards, linebacker. That one is tough for me. I thought he actually showed out really well, and I've been chatting with his mom on Twitter, and she was the one that
Oh.
messaged me and said released. I'm like, oh, that sucks. That sucks. Yeah. I thought he was really good, but I'm not an evaluator. So Nate Hamlin, who's a defensive back, Greg Hutchins in the kicking game, Peter Cordis off the offensive line, Caleb Lightbourne, who is a kicker, Emmanuel McGirt on the offensive line, Terrence Roberts, or T-Bob as we were calling him at running back, Forte Sapp from the linebacker position, which is a little surprising to me. I had heard lots of Forte Sapp, but I think Pharaoh McKeever might have actually stepped up in that
Mhm.
particular role. Christian Salisbury at wide receiver, which
Yeah.
also was surprising because he was looking like a good returner as well. Brandon Smith on the offensive line, JD Spielman at wide receiver, Jawan Taylor at defensive back, and Jalen Tolliver at
Hmm.
wide receiver. And I thought that one might have hit you a little bit, but I think Mambo number 5 took that spot.
The Jalen's swapped.
Yep,
That is sad
little
though.
little little Jalen swap,
Oh,
which
Jalen.
also sounds a little wrong. Anyway, was there any other names on there that like really caught you off guard?
I mean, when the list comes out, I I get emotional just because I can't imagine what it would be like as a player. Especially if you thought you put your heart and soul to it, and just to see that. So, I just I have a really I sympathize with these guys. I can't empathize. I've never gone through this, but it kind of breaks my heart, and it's just sad to see names like we didn't know you, but I mean, they're people and they don't have a
Yeah,
job that they may have like loved, and it may just be that someone just outperformed, and it. maybe they're not the greatest at football, but they love it, right? So, I mean,
Well, and maybe there's a couple of guys on there that are the first call if something
yeah,
happens,
yeah,
right? Like they didn't want a practice roster spot, but down the road, when there's injuries because it's football and that
yeah.
happens, then those are the guys that are the first call. Who knows? Like
It's
we'll have to see, right?
yeah, it's just it's always heartbreaking. But I mean, I thought I was a little surprised. I mean, he didn't have the best showing, which was Cameron Ashley, but
Mm,
I'm wondering who, as a wide receiver, may have outshined him a little bit. Maybe Jacob Hawley or Caleb Hawley
Caleb Hawley, yeah,
performed a bit better.
yeah,
I'm just honestly surprised that he was cut so quick. So I don't know if there was maybe attitude problems on the bench, if things weren't going right, he wasn't correcting himself. I just don't. We don't know that, but just to see how he was performing training camp against Winnipeg and now got released after this game. I was a little bit surprised on that one. And then again with Christian Salisbury, as you already brought up, was a name that
mhm,
caught some people's attention too. So, yeah, I mean, it sucks. I felt really bad for Caleb Lightbourne, though, on one of his botched kicks. He went to the
yeah.
bench in flames. He was
Oh, really?
incredibly upset. He ripped off his helmet and sat down on the bench and like threw it to the ground. Like he was upset with himself. And I just felt so bad for him. But
It's tough. That is
yeah,
tough. Um, but you know what? I'm gonna go back to Karan Ashley for a second because I agree with you. That one was a little bit of a surprise for me, but I think they wanted to have some veterans in the receiving core, and you look at Emmanuel Arsenault and Caleb Hawley, like you mentioned, that are now on the roster,
yeah,
and maybe they're looking for some of those veterans to help because in our quarterbacking, all four quarterbacks don't have a ton of experience,
yeah,
and so maybe that veteran leadership from the receiving core can help with that, right? So,
yeah.
um, I'd have to think that plays into it for sure.
Well, and a lot
So,
of times too, like it's about the chemistry of teammates. I mean, you
oh,
might
of
be a
course, yeah,
fantastic player, but if you're a crap person in the locker room, how valuable are you going to be in the long run? Like, right? Would you really want that guy who is all about himself and not the team? I'm not saying that's him,
yeah,
but just in
yeah,
generally speaking too. So we don't know what goes on behind the scenes. It's just his performance wasn't great, but I didn't think it was bad enough to get released so quickly.
yeah.
But
That was the surprise, right?
who
Yeah,
who who are we? We're nobody. We're a
yeah, yeah.
podcast
We
that
do.
talk about football. Like
We're just fans.
just
I like this
fans.
guy.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, exactly.
Good number.
They did add some people to our practice roster. Michael Beaudry goes over. Now he's listed as a quarterback, but he's been playing lots of other positions. So he's the jack of all trades there. Uh, Mark David Bienemy, so double hyphen, moves over to the practice roster. Rashawn Simonize, Cole Nelson, Nicholas Sumach, I think is how you say it. Rafael Gaglianone, that's our
Oh,
other
None,
kicker,
I think.
if need be. Yeah, Gaglianone.
I
Yeah,
think
there
so.
we go. Raphael Leonard, so a lot of Raphaels on the practice
We
roster.
got a square
Um,
again.
Hey, yeah, and Sherman Batty at running back, Charles Nelson at wide receiver, and Anthony or Trey Hoskins,
Who
defensive
knows?
back. So at least he's made the practice roster. I don't know if it's enough for me to get a jersey yet, but we'll see. He's on. He's close.
There's still
We have to
hope.
actually ask him. What is it? Trey? Is it Anthony? Not sure.
Maybe it's like Anthony Trey or Trey Anthony.
Or maybe it's Anthony, and for short they got Trey out of that somehow.
Sure.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Well,
I
I mean,
still talk to
to
him.
each their own, I suppose. But wouldn't it be Tony?
Yeah, sure. Well, whatever.
And
I hope to
Cole.
some degree. I hope it's Anthony because then I could truly get like a Hoskins on my jersey, and it would be right. It would still be right. Like,
Every time I hear the name Anthony, though, I always think of Russell Peters. The
oh,
one
okay,
Anthony.
Anthony. Exactly.
Um,
That's pretty
and
good.
I didn't know that Cole Nelson was from Ponoka. What's up, bro?
Yeah,
We're like 20
yeah.
minutes from each other.
See, yeah. Cole Nelson's a good dude. He's a good dude. Yeah, he was a great dude. And he wears his shirt proudly, so I like that. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. As does Manny Arsenault when he announces that he's staying with the team and he has the shirt on. I'm like, yeah, boy.
That was so
Gotta,
dope.
he's
Oof.
got to be on the show. Come on, Manny. Yeah. Now the Esks did have some news as well. They earlier in the week they did sign linebacker Brady Sheldon, and obviously he made the roster as well. And then today a big trade with Ottawa. They acquired Jaylen Collins at defensive back and Martez Ivy on the offensive line, and we gave up a sixth-round pick for that. Now Jaylen Collins looked like he was a great corner last year, and I have a feeling that's where he's slotting in with Javonte Dean being on the cut list. So it's going to be interesting how this kind of plays out in over this next week. That depth chart on Friday is going to be pretty crazy, in my
Now,
opinion.
how long has he been in the league?
Last year was his rookie year
Oh,
in
okay.
CFL.
Okay.
Yeah, but he had been around in the NFL for a bit. So, but he played with obviously with Chris Jones in Toronto last year, so he already knows what he's getting into and he knows the system, right? So that's an
Bonus.
exciting thing. But yeah, we'll take it. We'll take it. I know there's a little chat going on in that about that in the chat here, talking about the trade. So DB and an O lineman, so that's pretty cool. We'll take it. Yeah. Hey, that to me that looks like a great deal for us.
Mm-hmm.
Sixth round pick, and we get a what could be a starting corner. I think that's
Yes, please.
a good deal. Yeah, it'd be nice to win a trade every now and again. That'd be
Mm-hmm.
great. Yeah. So that's good. Now, before we get too far into predicting for next week,
Oh, jeez.
we should do some wild predictions for this year.
Oh, Lord. I
We
was
need to do some standings.
I was so
We need to
wrong
do
last year.
standings for this year because I know, like, oh God, we'll all be off. I understand that, but but from what we've seen in preseason and what we've seen with team moves and all those kind of things, okay, let's start with the East. How do you have the East teams lining up at the end of the season?
I don't even know what the stands like who won what, to be honest, in the East.
Hey,
So I'm just gonna be so
so pick an
biased.
order.
I'm just
Just
gonna be
pick an
so
order for fun.
biased and go Montreal won because it's me and
Okay,
it's Montreal and it's Vernon Adams Jr. So
okay.
they're one in the East. I think the Red Blacks are gonna be a little bit better under Mazzoli. I don't know if they're gonna be up there. I still think. Wait, who's the quarterback for Hamilton again?
Dane Evans, the
Oh,
Great Dane.
okay. So
Yeah.
I think I'll say Hamilton is second.
Okay.
Oh, geez. Do I think that Red Blacks are going to be third? Oh boy. Oh boy.
Do you
Oh
think? Do you
boy.
hope? Whatever. It's wild predictions. Do whatever you say. Whatever you want.
Okay, we'll go Ottawa, Toronto. Even though I don't think that's right.
Wow.
I don't think
All
that's
right
right.
then. No, that's
Wait,
good. No,
is it?
that's fine.
Bethel for Toronto still?
It is. Yep. Yeah.
Oh, he's got
McLeod Bethel Thompson. Yeah. Law firm, as our good friends at the Argos Fancast call them.
law
Yeah.
firm.
Yeah, because it sounds like a law firm name. Yeah. Three last
I
names.
love that. It's so true. So true. Oh yeah, I don't think that's right, but I'm so bad at these. Yeah, and it's so weird seeing Mazzoli in black and red. I don't think I like
Isn't
it.
it?
Oh, it's
Yeah,
weird.
I know. Yeah, I know. I know it's weird. All right. Well, you're gonna be happy with me because I'm gonna go with Montreal at the top as well. Also followed by Hamilton, but then I am gonna go with Toronto and then Ottawa.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you're right, but I'll stay.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. All right. Let's go westward.
Oh Lord.
What do you have in the West, Kayla?
Oh my, if oh, I hate, oh Lord, have mercy on my soul, because I don't think Winnipeg is going to do as well. Well, you never know. Ew, why do I think that Calgary is going to be one?
Okay.
God, I hope I'm wrong.
They did blow out both of their preseason
But
games. I
it's
can
preseason,
understand
and
why they
that's
probably.
what scares me. It's preseason, and they still don't and then we.
Mhm.
God, yeah, it's gonna. Calgary is my pick for number one.
Okay. Okay. I got Winnipeg going first. Okay.
Okay,
Who do you have next?
I think Winnipeg will be
Okay.
2.
Okay. I got Sask in second. Okay.
Uh, I think we're gonna be 4.
I 100% agree with you. That's exactly where I have us.
See, now
Yep.
I don't know Sask and BC
Okay.
because Fajardo is more in tune with his team, but
Mhm.
he's kind of flip floppy as far as like how good he is. Like he can be really on point and then not so. I'm not
Okay.
sure with Rourke. Is that how you say Nathan
Rourke. Yeah.
Rourke?
Hmm.
But he's a Canadian.
Yep.
So I'm gonna say BC, Edmonton, Sask.
Okay. Putting Sask at the bottom. All right.
Only because I
Cool.
don't want to be last, but
All right. And I got Calgary in third and BC in fifth. So
okay. So who's
we have a few people putting some
wait? So for
putting their
what's
predictions
yours
out.
then?
So
Winnipeg, Sask.
mine's Winnipeg, Sask, Calgary, Edmonton, BC.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, and I can see Chris here has Winnipeg, Calgary, Sask, Edmonton, BC for the West, and for the East he has Hamilton, Toronto, Montreal, Ottawa. So we shall see. Interesting, interesting. Lots of fun to say that at the beginning.
And yeah, let's be
So
clear. I'm
we've
crap at these, so let's hope
yeah.
that. Except for
That's all
Montreal,
right.
I hope that's the case. But I really hope that we are not. I mean, I'd be happy if we weren't last, but it'd be nice to make the playoffs.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
But
We'll see. I think this is a growth year for us.
yeah,
I think we're still rebuilding a roster,
and
so
for your
I don't want to
expectations,
get too
people.
correct. Correct. Um, all right, week one. Elks are playing at BC. Depth chart, like I said, will be very interesting. Lions won last week against Saskatchewan, and Rourke looked pretty good playing that first half. Let's talk about that game. In my opinion, we're going to need to see a lot of pressure from a Chris Jones defense.
Yep.
He's a rookie starter. He's not a. I mean, he has started a couple games last year, but he he's the young kid. Get some pressure on him, and I truly hope that he gets we get lots of pressure on him. Mostly because I'm going to be there and watching it, and I want
Yeah,
to watch
that'll
them
be
do well.
fun.
But I think that's one of the major keys. With the other key being hopefully a return of the kicking game with Sergio. That's exciting. Yeah. What do you think about this game?
Well, it's on the road, so that's advantage us. We're not playing
That's
home.
fair. That's
Um, but yeah, I agree with your statement. I really want to see more of Arbuckle, so
right.
hopefully he is in for the whole game.
Hmm.
One would think, since it's actually go time.
Yeah. If he's okay, because we're not sure. He looked like he might have been dinged up, right?
Still
So
that bad. Okay, I
it's
didn't know how
possible.
bad it
It's
was.
possible. We're hoping that he's ready to go, but right now we don't know. And of course, practice isn't until Tuesday, so it'd be pretty hard to know anything
Yeah,
until then. So
and then I mean, we just have to return. We have to get some field advantage apparently because I mean, it's the same old story. I don't want to repeat myself from last year again, but can we just have a special teams that helps our offense get into better field positions so at least we can get a field goal? I mean, last year we were
yeah.
complaining that's all we were getting, and this game I was begging for a bloody field goal at any point. um, but yeah, that's you have to play like a team first off. Maybe
Yeah.
start with that. So
Let's start with that.
I'll be more optimistic once I see how, like you said, the roster list is when that comes out and the final cuts. Let's see who else is standing.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It's going to be very very interesting. We'll get to our prop bet on that. You think about what our prop bet is going to be, and you get to.
I
And I'll
already
set
know
the
it
line, but
because
you
it's
get.
so
You know what? Oh, perfect. Okay. Okay. Well, we'll do that after we do
yeah.
our pick'ems because we got to get back to pick'ems. It's great that they're back and we get to chat about them because that means it's season
Season
on.
time.
How exciting! Okay. First one: Montreal versus Calgary in Calgary. That's the starting game of the season on Thursday night. Who do you have in this game, Commissioner?
I'm wondering. Okay.
Just groan and growl. That's fair.
Okay. So
Just come on. We all know what you're gonna
I
pick.
know this year. So this is my thing. This is gonna make it easy for me for this game at least. Okay. So I did.
Okay.
I always pick Calgary. I never pick Calgary. This year I will do Montreal by default, except when they play us. So this will
Okay.
be easy. Montreal.
Montreal it is. Okay.
I'm just like I already made my
Lovely.
predictions about stupid Calgary. I don't. Ugh.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm picking Calgary to win at home in their first game. So
Which is
sorry,
fair enough.
Capper. Sorry.
Mm,
Yeah,
yeah.
but I'll pick Calgary, and happy when I'm wrong. Um, Ottawa versus Winnipeg on Friday night, our first Friday night football of the season. This one in Manitoba. So I am going to say that the defending Grey Cup champions take that one down. I think it'll be closer though, because I think Ottawa will have some of those things up their sleeve that we weren't quite prepared for. So
Don't
um,
doubt that.
could be very interesting, but I think Winnipeg takes that one. What about you?
I would agree. I think if Ottawa is going to improve, it's going to be a little bit later in the season, not so late, but I think they're going to take some time to click. But I mean, oh, I can't not say holy mazzoli, but it's just so weird to see that, like I said, in those colors. But I agree. I wouldn't put it past O'Shea to come up with something spunky. So you got to Winnipeg at home. It's not preseason. Whew, good luck.
Yeah, exactly. All right, next one, Hamilton versus Saskatchewan. This one is right before our game on Saturday. There's a double header on Saturday. Who do you got in that one?
Who are they? Where are they playing?
In
In
Saskatchewan,
Saskatchewan?
in the rectangle. Yep.
Hamilton.
Ooh, interesting. Interesting. This was my upset of the week as well. I'm going to go with
Woo!
Hamilton taking down Saskatchewan. That should be rather interesting. Now that could be because I might have a light rule this year of never picking Saskatchewan,
Don't you
but
love those?
it's pretty easy. Yeah, it's pretty easy. Yeah, wrong shade of green. So Hamilton, the Great Dane, comes out, shows that what he can do as the starter, and away they go.
Mhm.
So now Elks prop bet. What do you have for our Elks prop bet?
Touchdowns.
Touchdowns for us.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay, or do you mean total in the game or
total,
just us?
total in, no, sorry, just us.
Just Elks
Just
touchdowns.
Elks
Okay.
touchdowns because it was just so pathetic. How could I not pick that?
Okay. I'm gonna set the line at 1.5.
Oh, okay.
So I'm assuming that they get one. Do they get two or do they not? I guess basically is the question. So um, what do you think? 1.5 on the line, and those of you that are in the chat, tell us what you think on that line, over or under on 1.5 touchdowns for the Elks this week against BC. What do you got, Kayla?
Well, since you guys are going to be there and give us some good luck, I'll say over.
Ooh,
I'm
look
going to
at
be
you go.
optimistic. This was preseason, guys. We have to be a little bit better. So I think we're at least going to get two.
All right. I am also going to go over, but I thought you would go under. So that's why I thought it'd be funny, but I'll say over. I say we get two. I think we can get two. But I think that's a fair line, the
And
way that we've played as of lately.
yeah, and maybe a few field goals and a win. I mean, not
Yep.
asking for that
Oh,
much, right?
hey, there we go. You never know. Never know. And Capper reminding us, of course, that it's the 25th anniversary of Friday Night Football. 25 years of Friday Night Football. Ooh, look at that. That's
Amazing.
exciting. Or you can tell it's an Elks podcast because Jerry Cooper, Coach Vic, Capper, Kobe, Tyler, they're all saying over. So this could be an exciting game for me to watch. That's what I like. I'm okay with this. So
Will we see you on TV? Where are your seats?
Not sure yet. I'll figure it out when I'm there. I don't know that you will see me on TV, but that's fine. I'll have my gear on and I'll be cheering. So
Oh,
maybe that'll happen.
I have to remember to resubscribe to TSN.
It's probably a good idea if
Probably,
you want to
yeah.
watch all the
Whew.
games. Yeah, yeah, probably. Okay, lovely. All right. Before we sign off, let's do this. This episode is also brought to you by Taproot Edmonton, which is on a mission to inform you about your city. Want to get a handle on Edmonton's growing innovation scene? Take a listen to Bloom, Taproot's new podcast. Each week, hosts Emily Rendell Watson and Faiza Ramji will discuss the latest developments and efforts to solve new problems and diversity in the economy. Find out who has invented what, who is investing in whom, and what is on the horizon. Find Bloom everywhere you listen to podcasts or visit bloom.taprootedmonton.ca. I like doing other new podcast things. Those are exciting, right?
There's so many. It's hard to choose. I have my faithful few that I listen to, so
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I could always add a few.
I hope one in particular, but
Maybe.
maybe maybe it's good. Okay, that's hilarious. Jerry put in a great comment that not saying if the TDs are coming on offense or defense though, which is fair point.
If it's I'm not complaining. Just get down
TD is
there.
a TD.
Yeah.
We're not going to be upset about that.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
exactly. And Chris Agar says this game will be a war of attrition, but I'll be optimistic and say over. So we've got a lot of overs, on 1.5, and good Lord, it better be over. Let's just
let it just be war. Like, let there be effort too, right? I'd be happy with that. Just show up.
Effort is good.
Great. Be great. Yeah.
Very happy with that. Yeah, that's outstanding. Now, our APN shout out this week is going to the podcast called Get Checkered. It's two Formula One newbies give their uneducated hot takes and teach listeners about the sport as they go. You can find them and all the other great shows at albertapodcastnetwork.com. And I have gotten into F1 because I watch Drive to Survive, and I think that's how a lot of people started watching F1. And holy man, that's exciting. So when you have other newbies and other people to chat to, make sure you check out Get Checkered. That's a fun show.
I've never been to Formula One, but I have watched racing, and in fact, it was one of my first sporting events ever.
Ooh, look at that!
It was very loud. I was a kid. I'm like,
That's what it's supposed to be. It's
right?
supposed to be loud.
But I remembered
loud
it.
cars.
I remembered it. That's what was.
See?
It made it memorable.
Good parts.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, Kayla, where does everybody find you on the socials?
On the one social of Twitter.
Yes.
Yes, quite. You can find me at Duchess Lombardi. Wow, I said that with like a really bad slur. Duchess Lombardi.
It's wonderful.
Yes.
Excellent. Because your name is Kayla Lombardi, of course. Yeah. Right? That's lovely. Okay. And you can find me at Freepalicious and the show at the Turf District on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Make sure you join the huddle with us there. And make sure you're also following our good friends at Pay It Forward with Football. They sent 40 kids, I believe it was, to that game on Friday, and Aaron Grimes was high-fiving everybody. They're doing everything to spread kindness, and we need more of that. So make sure you are following Pay It Forward with Football. If you are on YouTube, stay on for overtime, where we will chat some more about the game coming up on Saturday and kind of get ready for week 1. Otherwise, make sure that you are sharing that link with all of your friends so that more people can get into the huddle with us as we get into the season and are coming every week. We will be back next week and hope for a player to join us to chat about game 1 and kind of how training camp was and all those types of things. We're very excited to do more this year as far as bringing some of those stories to you. So thank you again for joining us. For Superfan Mike and Commissioner Kayla, I'm Andrew. Remember, you can't catch footballs with your face, and we will absolutely talk to you next week or in a couple of minutes.
Don't go anywhere. It's over.
And we're back. Back for overtime. That was well done holding quiet that whole time there, Kayla.
That was hard.
You're like, do I say anything? I'm like, nope, because I'm sure everybody heard, oh, let me just try this something as I was trying to get it all.
I've learned to keep my mouth shut.
When did that happen?
COVID did a lot of strange things to
Is
me.
that right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right then. That's very true.
Sometimes.
Yeah, so welcome back to Overtime as we chat a bit more about some of the things that are coming up this week. Coach Vic starts us off with a great comment, which is Wilder and Fletcher will shine. Please be true, my heart, and I cannot disagree with you, Coach Vic. And Superfan Mike, who has no voice right now, is at home going, yes, yes. He's very excited about that. Bring on the wishbone, as per Superfan. Please make sure that we get lots of running. That would be very exciting. And Tim Capper says that your delivery of your Twitter response was so regal, Kayla.
Thanks.
Right? That's
what
amazing.
a liar. I love it.
It's I don't know how you should find some regal way to say wieners for Kayla. That's what we need to have now.
I could try.
Oh, I'm excited for this.
Wieners for Kayla.
Lovely.
I don't know. I don't even know if I could do that in a British accent without cracking up.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty good. Excellent. Tell me a little bit, because you were sitting in my seat for the game on Friday. It's now been 3 years since Chad moved next to me, and we still have not sat beside each other at a game because he moved in the off season between 19 and 20, and then of course I didn't get to any games last year, and now you were at the game on Friday. So here come the 18th. I already warned Chad. I said, you better be prepared for tears and hugs because that's what's happening, especially after the game starts. But that is going to be a load of fun. But how was it? How was sitting there?
It's always great. I mean, I love the upper bowl because you do get the whole field in a broader perspective, but you don't get that in-game experience as you do within the lower bowl. I mean, not that there was much of cheering going on at that game, but I can only imagine when there's touchdowns and all that, like the vibe is different. You could hear the sidelines, which is really fun. You could hear the pads clashing. Could hear the whistle of the ball. No, I'm just kidding. But
also regal.
Also, yes. Well, I wish I had a monocle right now. It's great to be closer.
sorry. I'll tell you Cliffy's comment in a minute. Carry on.
Oh Lord.
Yep.
PG-13.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, how could you not like being closer to the field? I'd like to be on the field taking photos. But I mean, this is great too. They were excellent seats, and I will actually be your neighbor the next game because Matt and Michelle aren't going to be there. So Mama Jetta and I will be occupying their seats. So
fantastic!
We'll have a little,
that'll be great.
Yeah,
we can have a little powwow. We can go to Westivus together.
And,
like we could link arms and skip up the stairs. It'll be fun.
Oh, you and Mama Jetta can. I'll just be like, no, guys, the halftime show is too good. Just kidding. Yes, we can do that with much joy and tears on your part. I will make sure I have tissues in my pocket for you.
Yes, thank you. I do appreciate that. It'll be very exciting to be back there. So Cliffy's response, or his comment was, "Verily, thy wieners hath arriveth, fair wench," which makes me laugh so hard. I wish I had caught that in the podcast because that would be the title of the podcast. That'd be amazing. Thy wieners hath arriveth. I mean, even just that is hilarious.
I need so a scroll with some calligraphy with that because that's poetry, and I need it
Right?
framed in my house.
Yeah. I'm gonna
Hear
put that
thee,
on a
hear
t-shirt.
thee.
Thy wieners hath arrived. Oh my, that was outstanding. That was very, very funny. Yeah. Anyway, that caught me off guard, made me laugh a little bit, but well done, Cliffy. Well done.
Very well done.
Um, yes, well, so yeah, on the 18th, I'm sure there will be tears of joy. It'll be exciting. I might even have a hard time this Saturday. I mean, I'm flying out on Thursday to Vancouver. Have a couple of days there of getting some good walks in around the city and hanging out with my bud, um, and then Saturday. It sounds like Vancouver's really got some good things going. They have a massive block party going with up to I think it's 3 or 4 hours before game time with Stephen Page. So that'll be
Like a
cool.
Lions block party or just a.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, Lions block
cool.
party.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
which is very neat. And then yeah, it'll be the first time that I've been in a stadium for a football game since 2019,
That's nuts.
and it's crazy, and just again, like you said, it's totally different to be there and hearing the pads and hearing the roar of the fans and the watching the play and the like. It's those are the things that I I'm so excited to be able to get back to again
Hmm.
and see what these guys can do.
Yeah.
And there's so much on this depth chart that I really don't know who's going to be where. We don't know if we truly have a starting corner. Like
Hmm.
I don't know how that's going to work, but being able to be back and to just experience it live, it's
Yeah.
so different than watching it on TV.
Absolutely.
And to me, that's going to be huge. And then they also, I think they have One Republic at halftime. Like there's a big show there. Um, and then just, getting to watch the rest of the game and hopefully catch up with a couple of the guys after the game would be awesome. So,
Hmm.
um, so yeah, it's like I'm so excited for it. It's
And it's Vancouver. It's such a
I
beautiful
mean that
city,
helps.
right? Like,
That I didn't have to go to Regina to watch the first game. I went to BC, so that's good.
oh,
Like that's exciting. So I think that to me is just it's really going to be good, and I hope I get to see Brian, and get a chance to just kind of hang out with him a little bit and say hello. And I know Paul and Linda are going to be there, and so it's going to be great.
yeah.
I'm really excited for that. So, in the chat, everyone, throw in any questions that you have for us, and tell us what you're looking forward to most for this season, because I think there's lots that yes, we had a crappy game on Friday, and it happens, and it's a
Hmm.
preseason game, but I think there's still tons to look forward to and be excited about this particular year. So,
Yeah. And if it's not even
um,
about the football, I mean, we have an excellent president who's already making moves. So
yeah,
remember, just your expectations maybe don't have them too high and you won't be disappointed. Just look for the positives that you can find. And I don't think we're going to be as bad as last year. So that in itself is an improvement.
is that's a good thing. Yeah, exactly. Um, I'm just seeing a couple of things here that I just want to mention, but I want to ask you a question out of it. Chris Agar says that Stephen Page is so good live. I've seen him 3 times, so that's exciting. I've never seen him live at all, so this will be kind of cool. Jerry Cooper is asking, is BC placed lower bowl only again this season? From my understanding from the preseason game was that the upper bowl was open. So I'm curious to know how they have that set up, and we'll find that out. But here is the comment that this will be hard for me to get through, I think, but it's good. I want to get your opinion on this. Coach said he had a bit of an emotional moment with Carrie and Steve. She was tearing up at Westivus. Needless to say, she got me. And that was one of the things about this game this past Friday. Carrie and Steve there, Trio Grande there, Deb and Vince there. It was so much of the CFL family coming together. And how did that feel for you? Because I'm sure a lot of those people you haven't seen in a great amount of time.
Well, I mean, I I'm super biased. So all I
Yeah.
needed was my coach hug. And I got it.
Yeah.
And it absolutely, as soon as, I mean, and coach had some, I think something happened before the game, and traffic and construction and all that jazz. So he got to tailgate kind of just as things were beginning to wrap up. So, but as soon as I saw Coach Vic, I know I just needed my Vicky hug, and that kind of like made tailgate all like wrapped up. That was like the
Nice.
one thing. And I mean, there's some people that weren't there, so it didn't feel whole and complete. Um, a lot of like the Calgary fans weren't down, like Liz. I didn't get to see Liz. So there's a few that were missing that I'm much closer to, so it didn't feel quite complete yet.
Okay.
But it was really good to have conversation like with Connie. I don't know her very well yet, so it's really great to see her and get to know her and her friend. I apologize, I don't know what her name was. So if anyone could type in the chat, that'd be great. Lovely, lovely, lovely people. And I mean, it's really great to see. I didn't have that emotional response that maybe I thought I would, because I was just so happy to be back that I don't know, it was different. And maybe because training camp and I was there last year too. So I
Right.
didn't
Yeah,
feel
that's true.
as empty as maybe some did. But yeah, it was great. I don't know what else you can say. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Well, and from all accounts, west of us was awesome. Like there was a lot of really good kid. I saw a couple of pictures from west of us, and those ones were getting me. I'm like, oh man, like it's
see, I
so
I didn't
cool to see people back in a group, right?
yeah,
A-
I
And
wasn't
you didn't
there.
go, which is fine, which is fine. But like it was a great halftime show, and I've seen videos of that, and it's
See,
amazing
that made
too,
me
right? So
emotional. That's
yeah,
when I choked up
yeah,
when I was by myself in the seat watching halftime. I was like, glad no one's here to see me.
yeah. That's fair. That's fair. That's awesome. And yeah, I was sorry that I missed Carrie and Steve, but hopefully I'll get to see them throughout the season there because yeah, I haven't seen them in a while. But yeah, Carrie will get the best of us. She starts tearing up. That's it. We're all done. But it'll be great to see everybody soon. So yeah, I'm going to BC this week. I'll be back here for the Saskatchewan game, and then Nicole and the boys and I are headed down to Calgary on the 25th for the game down there too. So I'm gonna see all first three games. See how that looks
I'll
like,
be
but
with you in
hopefully I'll be able to run
spirit.
into enough people. I know,
I'll
I
be
know. You'll be in the same
there.
city. Yeah, just different spot. Yeah. Yeah, we'll have the super fam with us. Um, all right, so a couple of things that are here. Chris says, I'm simply looking forward to a better atmosphere from leadership that shows they care."
Mhm.
And I think we said that a couple of weeks ago. It was just like even if we just win off the field,
Yeah,
like that's a step in the right direction. I think that I can definitely agree with Chris on that one. And Ken says, what am I looking to forward to? More than 3 wins. So
exactly.
okay, why don't we do that? How many wins do you think we're if you had to predict how many wins we're getting this year, what would you say?
I actually thought about
I know, and
this.
this is without seeing a depth chart, without
hmm
seeing, who's where. Just what do you think?
my baseline. I actually thought about this or yesterday when I was gardening. That's all I was thinking about. I was like football and stuff and running things through my head. But my baseline is 5.
Okay.
I think the
Okay.
minimum is going to be 5. I don't want to predict exactly what, because I don't. I need to see a real game first.
Right.
But
Okay.
my baseline would be 5. My absolute minimum
Okay.
5.
Okay. Um, uh, -7. Yeah.
Better than mine.
Think we at least double our wins. I
Yep.
would be okay with
Yep.
that. Like well, more than double, I guess, because it was 3. But you know what I mean. Coach Vic says I'm believing for a 500 team, so that's 9-9. So that's
I'd be
that would
fine
be a
with
big
that.
step up for sure. Yes. Tyler saying yes, looks like just lower bowl in BC place. Okay, in the shots on the preseason game, it had to open. Maybe they'll just go back to lower bowl after. Um, uh, and then Chris said, big prayers out for Deb. Sadly, she couldn't make West of Us thanks to her leg issue. It's giving her some issues. Oh, that's tough because, yeah, part of our football family. So I know that she was around, and maybe we'll see her when we get down to Calgary.
Hmm.
Hopefully, that'll be a little bit better then. Coach said the few who met were so much family, so much love and happiness together. Got to say, so glad to see them all. So that obviously that's pertaining to West of Us because it wasn't a huge group, but the group that was there are people we've all known for a long time.
Yep.
Oh, okay. There you go. He said Steve and Carrie are headed to the BC game this week, so maybe I get to see them this week. So that would be amazing. That would be good. That if I will have to reach out because then I have to make sure that we can catch up. That'd be awesome. Tim Capper was saying I missed some of the show. Well, Tim,
Wow.
look of disappointment,
Who even are you?
right? I don't know.
Wow.
It's a good thing Cliffy had a good line.
Yeah, right.
Or Alouette's flight deck on my phone. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Tim was asking, what player cuts were you the most bummed about? So for me, uh, probably no. I have an emotional one, and then I have a playing one.
Mm.
And the emotional one was Nate Edwards because I thought that he had done really well. He's a Canadian kid, and his mom's super nice. We were having a great conversation, and I'm like, "This is cool, right?" I like that she reached out. Um, Play wise, Christian Salisbury was a big one for me because I thought he really had a good. Um, I thought he had great speed. I thought he had a line on that kick return position. And he did come over after practice, like unannounced the one time and said hi to the boys. And
Hmm.
he was like he was doing the right things. So that one I was a little um, that one I was a little bit surprised on. So what about you? Which were the ones that got you there?
Uh, Not super on the emotional side. Maybe just JP Kimakinda just because of his name. 'Cause I sort of kind of. Come on, like so
I
I
know,
was
right?
really looking forward to that.
It was an
Um,
easy one.
but I guess Jalen Tolliver would probably be my biggest disappointment just because last season he stood out to me. So that
And
one,
the first week of training camp this year,
yeah, he was.
he really was standing out.
Yep.
Second week, it was a little rougher for sure, but that first week he did stand out. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that if that would be the biggest emotional one, and then surprising again, I think would be Ashley and Salisbury for me. I
Okay.
at least for
Okay.
the initial release, like the quick offs, I thought maybe
Yeah.
give it some time to really think about it. So yeah, those were the biggest shocks. But Jalen
Okay.
Tolliver, oh, it's making me sadder the
Yeah.
more I think about it. Let's move on.
Okay. Tim Capper said Fabian Guerra for the Alouettes, and I agree. That one surprised me. I thought, oh, wow, okay, well, there's another receiver out there that somebody's going to pick up because I thought that he showed out from what I saw, showed up pretty well in the Montreal game that was available. So, um, and the highlights that I watched. So that one did surprise me as well. Cliffy D though did say, "My bad. I insisted on doing a preseason finale special, so it's Cliffy that we have to unfollow, but we're all good on we're good on
Hmm.
count." But that's okay. We'll let it slide this time, Cliffy. Next time.
I expect a
No.
scroll in the mail, and then I'll forgive you.
Scroll in the mail
Pigeon by pigeon, I mean.
by pigeon.
Yeah,
Yes, carrier pigeon. Take this scroll to
thy
thine
wench,
wench out west,
wiener
thine west
wench.
wench.
Wow,
Wiener.
that
Oh, that went down the hill really fast. Yeah. Take. I like how you try to look innocent after that. Okay, move on. Got it. Okay. Capper said, "Good dude. I've known since his Arena League days, and he deserved a chance." So yeah, and yeah, he had a couple of, like I said, he had a couple of big plays, so I was a little surprised on that, but it should be rather interesting.
Hmm.
Um, all right, I think we're running out of comments there early in overtime this week. I think everyone's like, "Why is this on a Sunday?
Sunday.
What's going on?" I know it's so weird, but this. I didn't. I think we'd have less people if we were doing it tomorrow night when the game was on.
And I mean, we would be pretty distracted too. Let's be honest.
Yeah, yeah,
So
that's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
yeah,
That's fair. We are working. We thought we would have a player this evening, but it didn't work out because, of course, they're finding places to stay now that they've made their made the roster. So that's made for a busy Sunday for those guys. So we will try and get a player on next week, so that we can get a little bit of story of kind of how camp was, how they felt it was under Chris Jones, and if it's a new guy, then it's like, what do you think of the CFL in comparison?
yeah,
Because these are guys that are seeing the game for the first time. So you look at guys like Jimmy Gaines Award winner, DeQuaylen Thomas. He's DQ is playing his first regular season game and likely at a starting linebacker position this Saturday. That's going to be interesting to see how that plays out for guys. So,
oh, you know what? Sorry, I forgot to
yeah,
mention he actually did have a one in particular really good play knockdown in the last game. I forgot to tell you. Sorry, but he showed up a bit. He was there. I
he was
visible
there.
39.
Okay,
Got it. Yep.
yeah, excellent.
So
We like that. We like that. Yeah. Um, oh, Coach Vic asking, no David Morley the night before football. Oh, I totally forgot about the night before football. What am I thinking? Oh my goodness, Coach, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. That is it should have already been done. But I've been so focused on getting ready to go on my trip that I forgot about writing the night before football. Wow, I really dropped the ball on that. Well, I'll see if I can come up with something. I'll record it separately and put it out. I can pop onto YouTube and just read it all by my lonesome. I'll see if I can put a background behind me that has a fireplace, and I
have
can
a
try
pipe.
and no.
So night before Christmas. Or no football. Wow. Yeah.
Oh my, yes. Um, and yes, Dave and Morley. I was thinking that we would have them on trying to get a season preview show, but I really wanted to try and get some of these players on now that they had done the camp, and then it didn't quite work out the way we had hoped. So, but we will get everybody on.
You
It happens.
could do a
I'm so sorry
mid-season.
though, Coach. You're right. I totally should have had the night before football, and I blew it. Happens.
Put it in your
Happens.
calendar so it repeats every year, like
I
around this
know every
time.
year. Yeah, yeah. Mid-June, start writing. Start, start. Because that thing takes me a good like three or four. You know, well, yeah, probably 3 or 4 days to write it just to get it sounding right and tuned up properly. Takes a little bit of time. So,
Well, if you have to do some
uh,
drives to Lloyd and Red Deer this week, good time.
well, Red Deer. Yeah, I'm off to Red Deer in the morning, so I'll be down there tomorrow. So there'll be lots of. We'll see. I'll see. I got some time before Saturday. We'll see if I can pop something up there. If I can throw something together on Tuesday night and then maybe record it Wednesday night, then it'll be out right before Thursday night football. Maybe that will suffice. Will that suffice, Coach? I hope that will suffice. I will try. He did just say that there were a lot of drop balls this week, which, you know,
You were just playing with the team. I mean, can't blame you.
right, right. I got a lot of things on my plate. Let's go. I can, I will try and get that done and get that out before. We'll release it as a separate show and or a separate plug that would be different from our regular show. But it's there. It's there. It's there. There's something brewing. Just got to get on it. Oh, Chris says new T-shirt. Hashtag Wench of the West. I don't think that that's very nice. I don't think we can
Well,
do that.
just nah.
Yes, probably. Yeah, I mean, it's funny. Don't get me wrong, but yeah.
I would go around
Yeah.
announcing it on myself.
No, maybe not. maybe, maybe not entirely appropriate. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Um, and oh, Coach says coffee and Red Deer. Oh, we might have to set this up there, Coach. Like this is all coming together.
Sweet capones.
Nice. Oh, Capper in with a question near the end. Thoughts on the new yellow flags?
What yellow flags?
The yellow flags that the refs throw for penalties?
They're new?
They're not. They're not orange anymore.
I didn't even notice. That's how depressed I was.
So, Kayla, no comment on that one. Okay,
What's wrong
perfect.
with the orange?
Yeah, I'm fine with it. Whatever. Yellow's like whatever.
It's
Yeah, it's
I don't
fine.
know. I don't know about that. Yellow's a happy color. That's not. Well, I mean, it could be happy. It's like 50-50.
It's like right. Yeah, exactly. Like it's funny. Like it's. I mean,
But that's why orange was
yeah.
so good because you're like kind of you could be angry, so you could be like red, or you could be like kind of yellowish, kind of happy, you know. So the orange was in the middle, but yellow was just happy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Fair.
there's my
Fair.
stupid like philosophy on it.
There's your full. Okay. All right. Well, we can. I don't know. I thought it was fine, but I I don't go to watch the refs,
Yeah.
or at least I try not to go to watch the refs. So that's yeah. When I see it in person, maybe it'll be like, oh, that's weird. But
Well, clearly I didn't, so I don't even know if you would you have noticed if you didn't even like.
there there is a cloth on the sequence.
Yeah.
Come on.
Just
Yeah, we gotta have more of those. Yeah. Yeah. There was shoving after shove time was over. I love that alien cartoon so much about football. It's the greatest thing. Yeah. Yeah. So have you not seen that? Oh my goodness. I'll send it to you.
nope.
It's do you know the comic Strange World?
No.
So Strange World is the aliens that it's a cartoon strip, and they have one about football, and that's the thing. There's a cloth on the sequence, and then you have to really regulate your shoves because there was shoving after shove time was over. It's outstanding. It's so good.
No, I don't know. It's Disney?
Yeah. No, it's not Disney.
That's not Strange World.
No, it's a comic strip, like a
Yeah,
right
but okay,
in
I'm
paper.
googling it and it's oh these guys.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Type in Strange World football, you'll find it. Yeah,
Okay.
it's fantastic ad. Okay. Um, Derek says the one ref in the game was mad at them. He threw one flag about 10 yards, so it was seen. Oh, that's good. I like that. And Chris says he's not going to split hairs about a penalty flag. Uh, so people are saying that it was more an effort to become one with the NFL. Whatever.
People split
Coach
hairs
says,
about the dumbest stuff anyway, so why not a flag?
Coach says flags are dumb anyways unless they're on the other team.
Precisely.
Good point. Good point. Yeah. And Capper says he knows the real reason, but he didn't tell us. He just said it's not that. So it's not to be like the NFL. Okay. Well, yellow, orange, whatever. Elks just don't get any of them. No flags.
Right?
That's what we want. Easy.
Is it though?
For some teams, they only get like 4 or 5, not 9 or 12 like we do on an average basis.
Yeah, well.
Well.
I just
Yeah,
get used to it now.
Yeah, that's the trick. Yeah, don't no. I'll pass. Thank you. No more of those. Yeah. All right, let's wrap this up there, Kayla. Thank you for coming on and chatting with me because that's it. We at one point we were 4 and now we're down to 2, and so it. But I think we pulled it off.
I think so. I think so.
Yeah, I think We did all right.
You say
That's good. Yeah.
football, I'm here. You say nerd stuff, I'm here.
Perfect. What if I say football nerd stuff?
Oh my
Bear in
gosh,
mind.
I am here. Seriously though, like my highlight still of this new season was when Victor brought out the, "Hey, have you watched Star Trek Discovery?" I'm like, "Guy, we're going places."
That's right. Yeah, exactly. Have I watched? Yeah.
We're like this because we neither of us. I watched the first season, but that's it. No, not Discovery,
Uh,
Picard. Sorry, first season of Picard.
oh, there you
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
Anyway,
Yes. Is our team green and gold? Of course it is. That's exactly why I watched everything. Yeah. It's wonderful. Oh my. All right. Well, thank you, Kayla. Thank you to everyone who joined us on YouTube. We really appreciate it, and we're excited to chat more football as the season goes on. And of course, soon we will have games to talk about. And not right away. There is a possibility we may start doing some post-game online feeds for chats so that we can kind of chat about the game. We'll let you know as we get more, closer into that happening. We're working on a few things behind the scenes to make the stream work as smoothly as we possibly can. So stay tuned for those updates and upgrades as we get going. But we'll let you know as we know more. But thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it, and glad that Football Family is back, and we will be chatting real live games this week. I will try and get out the night before football before the end of the week. Thank you for the reminder, Coach, and sorry for disappointing. Okay, so for Superfan Mike and Kayla, I'm Andrew. Remember, you can't catch footballs with your face, and we will absolutely talk to you next week.